Hello, hello. Huh. Okay. Hello, 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 hello. Yeah. Okay. Uh, Copy. Okay. Hmm. Good morning, Ivano. Is my audio okay? Is my audio okay, bro? One second. I need to make a post for this, guys. All right, that's good. I need to make a post. All right. All right. I think yeah. So I'm gonna before we get to it. I want to get like a few more people in the lobby. Uh, a lot of people recommended I don't do this. Uh, they know how stressed I get. They know how I react to. Uh, yeah, they know how I react to things. I get really stressed out. Being both a student, a business owner, and I got other shit going on too. It's just a lot of stuff, and when I make time for things like this, I'm taking something out of a schedule. So yeah, I'm making the time out today. Uh, I don't know who Tress Size is, but like if you like, come on, man, like let's not threaten me online. That's kind of okay. Well, I mean, okay, see, Garrett, man, like I have problems with communication too. English is not my first language. Things like this just they appear differently. Like I think this happened yesterday too. I said something. And I'll address that. I will be addressing that. It's like when you say things and English is not your first language, people just don't they don't have like they don't really consider that English might not be your first language and how you express yourself isn't really, necessarily accurate. I'm Chinese, and when I immigrated to North America, I learned French first. English is like, yeah, English is definitely not my first language. But anyways, it's not important. I'll wait for it to hit 20 and then I'll get to it. Meanwhile, is audio okay? Is audio okay, everyone? Audio is okay. We're in 20. It's okay. Let's get started. Okay, so yesterday something really unfortunate did happen. 100% unfortunate. So yeah, a lot of things happened yesterday. With yesterday, I had an assignment due, 4,000 word essay that I was working on, and we had some stuff with the business. Psychona's coming out this week, so I had to do some stuff, and I was quite busy yesterday. And that drama just piled on. I also had a dinner at 5 for my uncle who came to visit Canada, and he's heading back on like Tuesday, Wednesday, or something. And I didn't want to share any of this at the time, but I basically had to like derail all my plans to write and edit that really long thing, and just address questions. People kept PMing over and over. It was just really frustrating. But it was worth responding. I think people have a point that like because I responded so poorly and communicated so poorly, they have a lot of questions. They want to know what's going on, and so yeah, it was just really unfortunate that everything had to pile up yesterday. For those tuning in now, I'm just waiting for more people to tune in. I'm sure people want to tune in, want to hear. They want to bash in the comments. So I kind of want more people. So, okay. We're at a really steady amount of people. Okay. So as you guys all know, you guys probably know what happened with the situation. I'm not going to go too much into it again. Basically, a person who ordered from Strictly had his cars refunded. I don't even want to say we communicated poorly because I made the email, which I usually don't, by the way. But I felt like I had to make that email because it was like my decision. It was actually just straight up my decision. I said, let's do this because we had a discussion for like an hour, and a lot of people agreed with the decision, but I made the final call, right? So I was like, I'm gonna email this guy. We never had to refund. Sorry, we've had to do this before, but I think in those times I communicated better. This time I actually emailed. The email was really poor. Wait, is this not about BCS Atlanta? No. Sorry, bro. I thought maybe I should say in the post that it's about in regards to the pay. From yesterday in regards to the Bang Dream order fiasco. There, Bang Dream order fiasco. If I have to remember something, like this event's gonna get memed at the shop for ages, and it's probably gonna be called the Bang Dream order fiasco. All right, a couple things. So, one very important thing I want to first address before I get to comments is throughout my whole dialogue and explanation, I didn't even a single time want to put in light the reality that had Bushiro, stuck with a consistent kind of a release. I don't actually like using the ratio argument because they technically say they don't guarantee ratios, but if they had guaranteed some consistency in how their product is designed and how their product is packaged and blah 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 blah, that this wouldn't happen. I don't think that's a valid excuse, but it does shed some light into an unfortunate thing that is there needs to be like a bit of consistency in how the products are like packaged, designed, what's appearing in the products. I actually, like I said in the post, I tried to accommodate some. The smart thing to accommodate for was instead of accommodating for 8 of each double R, just accommodate for 64 total. So 8 of so you'll get like 6, 7 per. That was just slipped my mind at the time. I should have accommodated for that. That was smarter. Yeah, so that's that. I'm gonna start addressing some comments now. maybe that's the best way to do this. I'll start with his post. Oh, okay. So with Travis's, I don't know if I should say his name. I guess you guys all know it's on Facebook publicly. I'll just address them comment by comment, and then it'll probably lead to certain topics that I can dive deeper into. Because there's some things I want to say that aren't related to a comment necessarily, but let's see if we can connect everything. So, bro, this is a simply unlucky situation. I see the comparisons. I play Yu-Gi-Oh. I follow most card game news. Very similar. But in some ways different. I think simply okay. So in my view on the simply lucky situation, there is a lot of similarities, but I think his is out of he was absolutely new to the industry, and whereas I made a conscious decision. I think simply lucky. The way he handled it, like he just doesn't have certain like frameworks in his store, because when you watch his explanation video, he describes how he's been scammed many times. The guy was like a low feedback, blah 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 blah, and he just refunded the guy. And yeah, so Simply Lucky has infrastructure in place to try to solve the scam problem, but they're not really good solutions. So it's a little bit different. There's a subset that is very similar in situations where his card rose a lot in price, my card kind of rose in price, and I'll address this later. But I think in both our scenarios, people will look at it ultimately and say, card rose in price, stores trying to make more money, scam, fuck capitalism, fuck this shit. I'm fucking moving to, I don't know, where's a place that's not capitalist? Capitalism is like what runs the world these days, so unavoidable. Yeah, but basically it's like a problem with like capitalism trying to make more money, and that's just not the case for both situations, but it is a byproduct of the decisions we made. A byproduct is definitely that I totally understand if you're going to spin it as stores trying to make more money. All right, that's fair. So whatever. North Korea. So yeah, I'll address that more when the comment comes up. But yeah, there is similarities. So when people go like, yeah, this is simply an unlucky situation, it's kind of similar. It's funny how they happen around the same time. The greater good. This is why I don't buy from them. Don't follow this against the brand. They meant not against them. From my friends past experience, they have decided to never purchase from them, even if they were only retail left to have a stock of something. That's cool, David. That comment, maybe I should actually read them out loud. Maybe I shouldn't say the names, but if you guys want to follow through, I'm on the first post looking through comments. So if you guys want to have like a read along, that's cool. That's honestly a very fair opinion to have. What I want to emphasize with people that are supporters of the brand, that have had good experience with us, that know me personally, that know, what we strive to do, how hard my staff works, what kind of people they're like. They'll still, those people who've had those experiences, who have a connection with us, will stay. And people who have had negative experiences, I don't blame you. I've had negative experiences in places, and I don't go back there. If I eat a food at a restaurant and it tastes like shit, not going back. It's very normal. That's very normal, and you have the right to honestly express this. I have no problem with this. That being said, for people who do care about the brand, just know that these kind of like posts, in some ways, they're echo chambers of people that share the same opinion. So like in my post, you see some people who are like, I know where you're coming from. You're a cool guy. In this post, it's a lot of, yeah, Strictly fucking sucks. They sent me a fucking toenail in my order. I don't know, some bullshit like that. These posts are echo chambers. And so when you see like, holy, this is the pot is really stirring. It's gravely over exaggerated based on how these platforms create these echo chambers of conversation. And yeah, he describes his friend's scenario. Oh yeah, there's gonna be some Vanguard people tuning in. This is a Way Schwarz stream in regards to a big Way Schwarz drama that happened yesterday. I just want you guys to know that we have like some Vanguard fans now. That slipped my mind. Sorry guys, Vanguard fans. This is not Vanguard related. My bad. I'm I'm gonna edit. See if I can edit. Probably can't. I'll edit it after. I'll change the name of the title. But yeah, this is not the Vanguard related stuff. My problem. My bad. Whatever. I don't know if I can change it. Whatever. So yeah, not Vanguard related. So David then describes a customer experience. Yeah, that stuff not important to talk about. Customer experience has a bad experience. We're sorry. If we just refunded everyone willy nilly when they said the car didn't arrive, that's just ridiculous. So in our terms and services, we talk about like if the car doesn't arrive, some stores like TCG Player, it's like if car doesn't arrive and there's tracking, blah 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 blah. Guarantee like even on TCG Player, if there's tracking, card is refunded. Buyer's gonna get fucking trolled. He's gonna because there's tracking on it. We sell on TCG Player. We're a fairly big store on TCG Player. It just happens that way. I don't know if there was tracking on your friend's order, but if there wasn't tracking, there's actually just nothing we could do about it. I mean, if there was tracking, there's nothing we can do about it. If there's no tracking, it usually comes back to us. Every order usually comes back to us. If it didn't, then it's just lost in the mail. I don't know what I can say about that. Larry Kress. Yeah, so this guy says never had issues. Retailers screwing over ratios. Talked about it. Yeah, so owner of JKTCG comments here, and that's where I think so. I deleted my comments because I was told by a lot of my staff and people who I was talking to at the time to just delete them. Like, and I'll address it more when people start talking about the comments that I deleted more. I just deleted them because I'm really busy. I didn't want all the notifications on my phone. Honestly, it's actually so annoying. And I was gonna get back to it later, but the comments were like pretty poorly phrased by me. I'm not like the best English communicator. Like I said earlier, English is not my first language. So I deleted the comments. That's just the reason. So if you guys were looking for that and then you're gonna leave, sure. I deleted comments. Owner of JKTCG responds. Now, owner of JKTCG. I'm not even gonna say your name. If you're gonna make a comment, you gotta know the facts, man. You can't just say something and then what you say is just lies. Or like not lies, but it's when you say your order getting canceled and the items in your order relisted at higher price is unlucky, the shop actively chose to screw the customer over. When you make a comment like this, if you don't get the facts right, later on you're gonna look like actually just like a troll. Because these facts are not accurate. The cards were out of stock. Original poster might have not clarified that as clearly. Most of the cards were out of stock. And I described the situation better later. Basically, the whole point is if you don't know the whole situation, you making a comment like this, I feel like is just there to stir the pot more, and it's not productive. And as a person who is, has some reputation, has some like you're a big figure in some sense, I think you should not stir the pot until the soup is more, you put in more of the ingredients. So yeah, in terms of that. This post is amazing in so many ways. Something a lot of things makes thanks. Yeah, so yeah, owner of JKTCG. I'm not bashing on you. I made some mistakes when I commented in the thread altogether. I think I just shouldn't have. I think I should have just made the public post and PM the guy privately. Like, go by what I was saying earlier. You gotta be more mature about this stuff, is what I'm saying. So that's an address to that. You just probably just shouldn't have commented, to be honest. Even if you feel that way, whatever. Next comment. These aren't like any. Yeah. So once again, the assumption that we're just trying to sell the cards at higher price. If you read the original post, I think the buyer is emotional. The buyer feels a certain way, and he'll put to light the situation in a certain way. And I don't blame him for that. It's totally okay. But when people actively make comments that have an assumption attached to it, it just looks really stupid later on, right? That's the thing. It just looks silly. It just looks like you're creating needless drama, and that's like if the facts are laid out and it's actually that way, I get you guys want to give your 2 cents on how this is scummy, blah blah blah, or maybe you want to give your 2 cents now as an opinion. Honestly, it's fine. All these opinions are fun. I'm just saying how because the situation is not like that. these comments just feel like you're stirring the pot, trying to make it juicier, trying to make the situation more insane, and it definitely escalated as such. So yeah, sure, cool. You've had an experience. You've never had this experience. You've had like a great time buying from stuff and whatever. Cool. So 99.9% of our customers don't get their orders refunded. I'll tell you that much. And like, I guess we got titled this multiple times. Apparently, we're the biggest waste retailer now, English waste retailer. It might be true. I don't know. Maybe other stores have a shit ton of sales. I don't know, but we get a lot. We get like 8 to 10 an hour is a lot. So like I'm saying, like in 99, like in 100, if you get one bag egg, something fucks up, and you have to figure out a solution. It's gonna happen a lot when you have more orders, right? On average. And yeah, I agree. It's honestly better to give someone an option. That's where I fucked up communication wise. 100%. So yeah, like I 100% agree that I could have communicated better. So when people are saying like it's better to give someone an option to either get a refund or fulfill it with some other stock or something else, never a good price to put up anything higher. Your second part of your comment, once again, a lot of what escalated was due to an assumption that was just not accurate, that was framed that way by the poster or by people commenting. Didn't happen that way. So you can give your 2 cents on it. But I'm just letting you guys know it didn't happen that way. But yes, I could have communicated better to give the buyer an option. And I'll address later why I did not give the buyer the option or communicated better. Someone ordered to make some more money off it. Yeah, so a lot of comments are going to be like this. I'm not going to read through all of them. It's actually a bit sad. Yeah, it's a bit sad to see all of these comments about an issue that I think the original poster didn't frame properly. And then next comment is like the guy referencing another shop, saying how it's the best to shop at, and I don't want to roast, but if you price compare and look at our track record, we are pretty. We provide cards for people at fantastic prices. Something will fuck up along the way when we're trying to do things, but I'll tell you this right now, Bang Dream pre-orders, we got like 80, 90, something crazy for specifically Bang Dream pre-orders. Insane amounts. And yeah, a lot of people got their cards at great prices, and then this card shop puts their prices up. Damn, everything's just basically our prices into USD, so everything's up 30%. Great shop, man. So that's that addressed. That's what people trying to. Yeah, so the poster says like, honestly, I bought these because of the low price. So when I responded and said like, talked about low price versus high price, blah, 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 in my response, some people had problems with that. I was just referencing this comment specifically. And yeah, so like, because he said he honestly bought them because of the low price. So I was like, okay, now I know that. And in my response, I was framing it as like, from my perspective, with all the information I have, how I want to like think about the situation. And because he said that, I just thought of it as, okay, this guy's probably blah, blah, blah. That is hella terrible business practice. Once again, if you're referencing the refund to sell higher, it's not true. So unfortunate, but you gave your 2 cents. Cool. If it's the communication thing, I agree. Having such poor communication on my end is terrible business practice. Something that is on my top priority to work on. Cannot emphasize this enough. French, English, French, Chinese were my first 2 languages, and I learned English third. I didn't learn how to read English till grade 5. So if you're gonna say my comment was fucked, I just wanted to have you know that. Like, look at Christian Jarback, a sponsored player. He gets fucking memed on all the time. A lot of it is just communicating in English is hard, you know. I will warn you as well. You will be ridiculed for poor handling of the situation, my friend. Good luck, and if streaming is your way, I think any bad reviews will come to you soon enough. I don't know why this guy has to phrase it as a threat. Like, I read this and I was like, bro, you serious? Like, This was probably kind of funny to me. It was a little bit funny to me. Uh, not him telling me I'm gonna get bad views soon enough. It's funny. It's just the fact that someone feels so compelled to tell me how to run my life that he has to make this comment is interesting to me. It's definitely interesting to me. Maybe it ended badly for me. It might have honestly had. I always knew I was a poor communicator. It's not like a new view I got from this experience, but it definitely reinforced that I need to hire someone to handle communication and like PR in the company. So that, I mean, something good came out of this situation. Honestly, for Strictly, very proud of that. Well, not proud. We're still in the process of hiring, but when it all settles down, I'll be proud of what resulted from this. It's like something really fucks up, and then if you can uplift the company through that, then it's just a win-win, right? Yeah, well, this is not the first time this happened. I got my GBP1 place refunded. Okay, well, this case, I'm not even going to address it. It's actually silly. If he wants to go more in detail about it, if he wants to lay out all the facts in another post, all the facts, I'm saying all the facts. You can lay out all the facts, but if you lay out all the facts, I think it becomes increasingly clear that in that situation you're talking about, commenter, it's like pretty whatever. Oh my god, I closed the page. I have to reopen this. There's too many comments. All right. Yui Pang, your business practices are quite horribly for basically telling someone they may get bashed when you make a video. The thing is, you want something to delete before it can get out of hand, right? So you're not blamed for anything, Lamal. Yui, my friend, you need to check yourself before you wreck your business. Once again, dude, okay, I'm going to address this comment right now. I agree. I originally made a comment that said, bro, PM us. But it got misconstrued into me threatening him. And so I had to delete the comment because it just blew up my phone. But I'll address this. So this guy's basically saying, you be paying your business practices are quite horribly for basically telling someone. Oh yeah, one of my guys told me to not address the comments that are plain hate. I mean, I'm not like bashing them back. I'm just saying when I feel like a comment is unreasonable, that I'm just so okay. PR guy, I think I'm okay. I'm not gonna bash anyone. I'm just here addressing all the comments. If people really feel like I'm wrecking my business with how I'm portraying the business, then sure, I'm gonna respond to this way. Strictly Broken TCG is bigger than the businesses you see in Weiss, where it's just one dude with one staff trying to sell some cards in a website that looks like it was made by a 5-year-old. Small roast there. You guys might know which card shop I'm talking about. I have multiple staff. I have hundreds of orders a day. And I'm just me. I'm just me chilling here. And what I'm trying to say is I don't handle and I don't do many things that aren't executive decisions and Strictly anymore. I have staff to do all that. So when you tell me check myself before I wreck my business will survive. I'll tell you that much. And how I communicated was poor, but I don't think my business will end because of me. Because if it were to end because I have a bad reputation, then I failed at designing and making the business. If the business runs on me having a good reputation, then I've done a bad job in making Strictly something that could survive long term. You know what I mean? Like, if you guys want Strictly to really, really last and make English community like a mainstay and, always have cards for English Weiss, for Vanguard, all these things, you got to understand that Yui cannot be the focus. It's always Strictly. I'm just an agent of the company like everyone else. Now, it happens to be true that I own the company, but I always see myself as an agent of the company. My staff thinks that, like, there are some companies like Zappo in the US that where the boss literally sits with the employees, and we have like the same kind of viewpoint here. I don't see myself as anything different than just an employee of the company. even though I own the place. So yeah, I don't think the company's gonna end. I don't think this is like end all be all. And I'm coming to you guys now as like a person just trying to clear up the situation and have a conversation. It's not really me trying to save Strictly Broken PR and stuff. I'm just trying to have a conversation because if my reputation gets ruined, I'm just become a fucking hated on by the community. I don't want that. I don't want to get hated on the community for communicating poorly. So I'm trying to do a better job here. And I like you guys do a great job about creating this live stream because of this one guy out of. I agree. Master Beetle, I agree. But what happened in the groups basically was that it just involved the whole group witch hunting us. So I'm making this comment because it addresses the whole witch hunt from yesterday. I know where you're coming from. It was a huge witch hunt that delayed everything I was doing for like 10 hours. So yeah, let's talk about the next thing. Taking to read later. It's funny. It's pretty funny how everyone wants to read it. I'll actually address this now when because this is a perfect time to address this. So for the original poster, I'm gonna just say your name because your name is so publicly known. I won't say your name. The original poster, you know who you are. You gotta understand, man, that if you want a public response, I get that you'll have it'll be very interesting for you. It'll really make your evening, and you might get a ton of emotional and community support for your situation, which is, on one end a good thing. But you got to understand how many people are only egging you on to view you and the situation and me as entertainment. I'm not here to be a source of entertainment. I'm kind of am. The channel is. But you making this all public, a lot of people will just ask for it to stay public because they want to be entertained. And basically, in my perspective, from what I see it, it almost objectifies the situation and objectifies you and objectifies me, right? It doesn't lead to anything positive, really. And so in my original comment, what I was trying to say was, look, man, you make this public like this, in the end, that's your decision. But if we talk about this privately, and then you can address everything we talked about privately, I think that will be a healthier conversation. There will be less noise, public noise involving the situation, and then we could really have a good conversation. In this whole thing, I never even got to talk to you. You never PM'd me once. And what it really should have been was you talking to me or you talking to one of my staff and having a conversation. That's what I was trying to say with my original post. I had to delete it because it sounded like me saying, yo, man. Because I said something like, last time someone did this, they got bullied. And I'm not good at English. I've said this multiple times on this stream. My first language is Chinese. My second language is French. Third language is English. What I was trying to say was, last time when this happened, in the comments, people just kept commenting and making the original poster and me, it just made it into content and drama and for their own enjoyment and pleasure. And that's not what you're seeking here, unless that is what you're seeking here, in which case I actually think your goals are misaligned. If you're seeking reparations, you should be PMing us privately. When you make it public, you're just making it so that everyone gets to have a good time, drama experience, viewing it like TV, television, consumable content. And I never even got to talk to you one-on-one. So that's what I meant with the original post. And it got misconstrued to me saying, yo, man, if you make this public, I'm going to threaten you. I'm going to bully you. Why would I want, if I pull up the comment later, I know you made a post about the comment. I'm going to read it. It does definitely, in my head, it doesn't read as me threatening you, but maybe it did, and I'm just really bad at English. I want to read these comments for this. So yeah, it was viewed as a threat. People, a lot of comments after that were like, Yui's threatening the guy. Once again, if you know me, my English, my communication skills not the best. I talk in very jagged sentences because French first language, English second, Chinese, French and Chinese first languages, and then English second language. Also, I'm just a bad communicator in general. The language isn't even the excuse. I'm shit at communication. When I talk to people, I always assume they already know what I'm talking about. And so it's like a huge problem. Like in that example, I assume people know about the past situation. In the past situation, the guy literally, like, it just became like a shit fest. And this became a shit fest. If I phrased what I commented on better the first time, I think even the poster might have deleted the post, unless he was actually looking to create consumable content, in which case your goals are actually misaligned. In the end of the day, we just became objects of the community, and the problem wasn't actually solved, and you didn't even get to have a dialogue with us. That's why I wanted to take it privately. So I addressed that. That was an important one people wanted to know. I addressed that now. That's what I felt about the situation. It holds me responsible in the public. I agree it holds me responsible in the public, but the original poster can then talk about it in public, and then I don't have to. For how much of a figure I am now, I don't want to keep bloating myself to be more of a figure. Strictly is having this problem where people keep PMing me instead of Strictly, and I'm like out in vacation in Vietnam or something. That I'm trying to reduce my presence, and this type of shit doesn't help at all. Like at all. Because he even says, Strictly broken, you be paying. Some staff is even frustrated. They're like, oh man, how am I supposed to do my job when people are just in the shop? They're like, where's Yui? He gives me a deal. And staff is just like, what the fuck? I can't do my job. So that's something I'm trying to solve. So yeah, that's where I'm coming from. Yes. Terrible taste. You might have terrible taste, but I think, yes, that is something that as a conclusion we have reached. So then now I've addressed all those comments. Wait, is Yui admin as well, right? Isn't he trusted by the community? And yes, I made the group. I am head admin. That weirds a lot of people out. I'll talk about that some other time. But yes, I made the group. There was reasons why I made the group. I got banned from other groups because they had this rule that you had to post only one picture, and I posted 2 pictures, and I got permabanned because it happened twice. And I made this group because I still loved Weiss. Yeah, I am head admin of the group, so it's kind of funny. And then some people were saying, like, there's another comment later that was really funny. Just the way he's handling things seems very poorly. Yeah, so the way I handle things, it was poor. My phrasing was bad. I shouldn't have commented altogether. I 100%. So while your first 2 comments were bashing me, this one I 100% agree with. Poor handling of the situation. Anyone got linked to stream? Well, now I'm streaming, so cool. Where's stream at? I said I was gonna stream in the post, but then everyone started saying like, "Oh, stream's not gonna solve the problem," so I decided not to stream and make a post instead. And I got some hate for that too, which is funny. And yeah, once again, I'm gonna prepare some popcorn and shit. Poster, you made consumable content out of yourself and your situation. Now, the argument of I should be brought to the public eye, that's a fair argument. But I also think the flip argument being this person becoming basically like this whole situation just becoming drama for you guys where you can, have a good laugh and like read it and have a good evening. That's just not right either. So I think the poster maybe should have PM'd me first. Because then if his post was like, I had a problem with Strictly and it was resolved, this shit wouldn't blow up like this. And people would be just like, what the fuck? Yeah, but once again, if you want to PM me, dude, still, I'm down for the PM. I wasn't threatening you. If you're scared of me now, I'm not a scary person. I won't stream. I'll make a post. Yeah, so I say that. I deleted all my comments for a couple of reasons. So at this point, I think I deleted my comments. One, people were misunderstanding my first comment, thought I was threatening the guy, and I had to delete it. 2, my phone kept buzzing during a dinner I was trying to have with my uncle, where he was leaving, and it was emotional. I'm not going to fucking... I keep my phone on because I actually get important messages for stuff. But I had to delete those comments. And I didn't think they were actually useful comments. So... because they were badly phrased and everything, so I just deleted them. Press F. Pretty funny. When half the community is on Yui's jockstrap, anything he posts is going to be met with applause by half the community. So there's no point for him to post anything, but it'll be good popcorn anyway, I guess. So this guy kind of, I can't control whether half the community is on my jockstrap. I don't think that's true. First of all, I think a lot of people don't know who I am, and in this like little bubble of like Discord / competitive players slash people who do know me and what I've done for the game and everything, yes, a lot of people do appreciate and know who I am, because when they meet me in person, I'm the last thing from an evil guy. I'm like always trying to like I'm the last thing from an evil person. That's why like I'm not trying to say like, yeah, I do have half the community on my jockstrap. I'm just genuinely like I barely have an evil bone in my body. Like holy shit. Like genuinely. So a lot of people when they meet me, they actually like change their views. Let's say they didn't like me and they didn't meet me. And they're like, wow, you're not a bad person. I'm not a bad person. It's just running a business can be hard. And running a business when you're also in school, when you're also doing some other stuff and have other side businesses, it's just a lot of work, right? So sometimes things fuck up and we're here to solve it, right? Uh, let's see. When how the community. So yeah, a lot of comments. So what did we learn today, guys? That's right. The next time you want to order a PlayStation from a shady business, think, could I get this from a better source or more of a... Yeah, it's JKTCG, where your final prices are a Canadian store's prices, but in USD 1-to-1. Yeah, great place. 30% increase immediately on release. Nothing shady about that at all. And then this little thread was hilarious. I'm not going to touch on it. It was just really funny. It's a great read. It was so funny. I'm not going to touch on it. It was a great read. And then this comment: when you screw someone's order to make someone extra pennies and then end up losing a ton of business because now the group don't want to buy from you, shady business practices. Once again, through this whole experience, I'm not going to give detailed sales data, but I actually saw an increase in sales after the initial 4 hours where we weren't getting a lot of business, which is very rare. So that I actually noticed because I didn't get as many notifications. But by the end of it, I actually got an increase in business. I guess people remembered, oh yeah, SBTCG exists. I can order from there. I'm gonna check their site. It was fine. It was fine at the end of the day. Once again, we don't make it a norm to do things like this. And when you describe this as us doing shady business practices, it's just not true. Like, I'm sorry, it's just not true. I can't. It's not true. I can't comment on it anymore. So yeah, it's just not true. This guy, by the way, has like the guy who made this comment actually has like some sort of hard-on hate for me. Like, it's actually weird. So it's just weird. He like every time I post something, he fucking roasts it. Like, what a weirdo. Simply unlucky comment addressed. Why not wanting to neg when not wanting to neg backfires? Yeah, so once again, not true. Alfred farming likes, 49 likes. Good job, man. I'm glad you got a lot of likes. Philip McKay, what's up, man? I know we had bad relationships when I was younger. You should PM me or something. I actually want to. I'm gonna take this time. I've never done this in public. I just want to apologize to Philip McKay from back then. Like, I don't know if he's gonna apologize to me, and it's mutual. But I definitely a lot of times in our arguments from way back when 5 years ago, I took things way too far. Sometimes I was young, I was excited, and like a lot of people. And yeah, Phil McKay, I wish we could have been friends back then, but I don't know if you see this or someone links this to you. Yeah, I'm sorry about back then when I think I said something specifically once that really got to you. Yeah, my bad, bro. And then this is where shops start advertising. So we have a huge market space. Peter Per. For all your comments, I will address that portion of it. These comments are all about a specific topic that I'll address later because there are comments about it. But when a lot of shops started advertising their shop, it was pretty funny. I know we have a huge market space, a market pie of English way choice in North America, and for good reason. We try really hard. We have great prices. And all these shops coming in to advertise is really funny. I'm glad that you guys got to get free advertising it. Isn't this basically so simply unlucky shit? Yeah, you're very good observation, man. More memes. I don't know what that meme means. Casual note that Yui deleted his initial statements. They weren't statements. They were comments. Dude, statements are official and represent something. I just made comments that I had poor communication. Like, they were not official statements. Well, I guess they're kind of official statements, but I told the guy to PM me privately, but I phrased it really poorly. Once again, I was not threatening the guy. Holy. But yes. Popcorn memes. Now Yui Peng is using his mod power to delete these comments. Yeah, anyone can delete comments, man. It's not a mod power, man. Like, I'm not deleting any comments. I just deleted my own. I wanted to eat dinner with my uncle. Man, I'm such a terrible person, man. Can a group creator step down? If you guys really want me to step down, sure. But I feel like I've done things. The group is a great place because I actively try to make sure the group is a great place. I don't know, man. If you guys really feel passionately about wanting me to step down, make a post. If it's really popular, I'll step down. If it's actually like people just fucking hate me as an admin, yeah, I'll fucking step down. Because I think if you hate me, then like, yeah, I definitely think someone else should do it. But I don't know. But there are some comments in the original post. Is it worth me checking? New comments. When you're animated group that needs to police bad sellers and you're one of the bad sellers. Yeah, funny, man. Very funny observation, dude. Once again, there's an assumption here. Now we'll get into a discussion and a conversation about whether I have bad selling policies later. But yeah, very funny joke, man. I'm glad you got some likes out of that. In the end, he's gonna delete this post. I'm not gonna delete the post. That is a vile. Like, I'm not a tyrannical admin. Like, come on, guys. I just deleted my comments. What the fuck? Downward spiral. Yes, this spiraled quite out of control. Now this is where people in BC started shitting on me. Now, I don't know why people in BC are shitting on me, but I did temporarily close Weiss locals on Sundays because we're moving to a new shop. And this other card shop, like up the hill, wasn't getting a lot of people on Sundays. So I thought it was a win-win. They can get more customers temporarily while we rebuild the new shop in the larger location. So it's like a win-win. But I think people took it the wrong way locally too, and they thought I was closing Weiss. And then support the Card Academy. Pretty funny stuff. People are just flexing. Now I'm starting to realize through this post, I started realizing how much of a market share we have for Weiss. I'm glad these shops are going to do a bit of advertising, but I'm also, because they follow JKTCG, their prices are, even after 10%, 20% higher than our prices. Yui Pang, I'm willing to entertain the idea that information has been left out and your side of the story would make public shuffle the side. But right now, you're not giving the response you promised within. So this comment, you're just feeding fire to the flame. You're stirring the pot more. You're not doing anything productive, man. I didn't like these comments because they were not productive. You're just trying to like make more of a witch hunt into more of a witch hunt. I posted like 60 seconds after you made this comment. But yeah, like as like a personal advice, don't do this. In my opinion, whoever made this comment. Because like, come on, man. You're just as a advice man to man, feeding fire to the flame is not like a productive way to like lead your decisions. Like if all your decisions are just to feed fire to the flame, it's just you're just making problems bigger and worse. All right, so then another guy told a sad story. So this guy ordered from us like 15 times, and then on like the 15th time there was an error, and yeah, there's tracking on it too, but nothing I could do when there's tracking, man. I'm very sad to read this issue. I made a lot of purchases from SPG, so a little bit of a support. Appreciate it. Once again, like hate comments and positive comments. It's so divided, and making this post doesn't really lead to anything because people who hate are gonna hate. People who appreciate are gonna appreciate. Damn, that was like a rhyme. That's pretty cool. But it just doesn't lead to anything because people who liked our services are still gonna shop with us. People who never liked us are still not gonna shop with us. Doesn't make a difference. To all those saying my business is ruined, it's not ruined. My staff's gonna come in today at 2:00. There's hundreds of orders to make. And they're going to complain about there being a lot of orders. Same old, same old. Nothing's going to change. But what is going to change is that we're going to get a PR guy, proper communication. That stuff is going to change. So, that's the positives out of the situation, He needs to somehow make this right for you. I don't think he's in the right mindset. He has no idea what the short-term gain for his business is going to ruin him long-term. Can you imagine running a business and being known as a store that can't be trusted on pre-orders? Once again, going off of an assumption of something that's not factual, of the whole, like, I'm trying to hike so I refund to sell for more. Not true. I'm not thinking about short-term gain. I'm very much so a long-term type of person. I do a lot of things for long-term, like my cheap prices. It's all for the long-term to make Weiss like a better game in North America. It's not like a short-term goal. I'm very long-term oriented. This comment is actually very productive. I like it, but I always have to be mindful to stay long-term. That's always what I have to remind myself. And so, yeah, the comment makes sense. Oh, in terms of I need to make it right for the customer, I refunded his whole order. All the cars that rose in price were the cars that were sold out of, and the cars that we still had didn't go up in price. So, or like if they went up in price, they went up by like $1 or something, or maybe they don't. I don't track the price increases. They kind of happen over time, and I don't think the cars that we still had went up in prices because we still have them. They weren't as popular, right? So I think the prices stayed the same. So my whole mindset with this was refund the whole order. He could reorder the cars that we actually have, but I'm going to refund. Now, I should have communicated that clearly, but that was in my mind at 8 p.m. when we had like a 2-hour-long discussion. Could have just mentioned those things, or maybe not refunding the order and talk to the guy first. All these things could have done better, but that was my mindset. The cars that I actually have did not go up in price by that much. And if they did, so yes, if I had to make it right with him, he still needs to PM me. Like, he didn't respond. He never responded to the email. If he did, my staff will let me know it too if he responded to the email. Instead, he started this post and everything. But PM me. Tell me how you feel about the problem, and then we'll see what we can do for you instead of making it into a TV show for everyone. So yeah, that's part one. I think the juicier stuff is the comments in my posts. There's some stuff about my business and stuff that is probably worth addressing. So yeah, we'll get to that now. And then your questions about first comes, first serve and stuff can be answered. Let's read some comments before we get to that. Okay, so here's something, before I respond to comments on my post, here's something that people, here's some big brain shit I want you guys to understand. If my goal was to refund all the pre-orders and sell them higher, why did only one person get their order refunded? I had like 20, like a ton of orders at the cheap, costing me 16 Canadian dollar price, and they've all been fulfilled and shipped. Why one person? Did it occur to you why one person, only one person got their order refunded? It had to be for some other reason. Because if my goal is to make more money, I would do it for more than one person, right? Like, come on, brains, come on. Like, and you can say something like, "Oh, you just want to do it with one, make that a little bit more change." Do you think $9 times 8, so $72? Do you think I would fucking hurt someone that bad to make $72? 72 fucking dollars, bro. Come on, man. Like, dude, I fucking go casino on one hand is 72 fucking dollars. Come on, man. Like, what the fuck, man? So that's a small address to that shit. That, like, this is actually a very valuable point. If I fucking wanted to scam a bunch of people, I would have scammed a lot more people than one fucking person. All right. So yeah, that is that point. It's a very valid point. Let's read mine. I'm having such a good time right now, by the way. This is so fun. Oh, wait. No, Corey, I'm not addressing. Oh wait, Corey, you're missing the point, bro. What I'm trying to say is, um, I'm saying if I was trying to scam, I would have fucked up more people. And I will address later why I didn't go by a first come, first serve basis. When maybe I should do it now. Okay. So first, okay, I'll just there's a comment about it. I can address it. You guys probably want to hear it. I guess maybe before when you guys talk to me about business and business practice, I want you guys to know one thing. I'm a business school student. I'm not just open a business, dirtling around. I'm a business school student, 4th year, final year, about to graduate. Not everyone knows that. Yeah, I'm actually just straight up a business student at university. So we can talk about practices if you want. And specifically business, I concentrate in business law and like human resources. My specifications. Let's read my post now. So emotional ass post, sad shit, boo-hoo, boo-hoo. Very sad. I was actually very sad that day. I was genuinely sad. When I hear customers have bad experiences, it doesn't make me happy. It makes me really sad. I could have communicated better, probably made the customer have less of a bad experience. So it's on me, but I was really sad that day, genuinely. So first starts off with a meme. This is my post, by the way. If you guys want to follow along, I'm on Vooper's picture. Can we please add this guy to the vote for future admin, bro? Everyone thought I like nitpicked him off the admin voting thing. He didn't fucking apply properly. Oh wait, Diogo, I'm explaining this in this live stream because it's something that I care about. It's a passion of mine. It's making sure everyone knows what's going on instead of just in the dark is something that's important to me. So yeah, maybe you think I'm going way too far. I care about this stuff, man. Holy, I can increase the volume on this. I did not know. That's awesome. Wait, one sec. Whatever. Anyways, reading, memes. So first off, making that judgment call of someone pre-ordering low to make money is very bold and wrong. Someone could have ordered low to help friends' orders and such. Second, instead of refunded, you could have emailed him ahead of time or brought the $double from somewhere else if someone posted them online after cracking their cases. Could have communicated with the $8 customer, hey, we are sure we can renew the refund, blah, 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 blah. Third, just going on to blame waste distribution is a cop-out move at this point. Bang Dream has a pretty weird history with all the foils coming to opening where you get a place of the case, which is honestly what we assumed was going into. Someone, so in the scenes, this is viewed easily for blah, 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 blah. All right. So this guy, 33 likes, almost as much as Alfred Yang. I'm going to address you, man. Your third point doesn't make sense. Your third point actually just makes no sense. Thinking that I, at Strictly, am like a fucking brainiac, fucking thinking about Wayshore's market and shit. It's not my job. That's not what I do there. It's not worth my time. Your third point is just bad. It's a bad point. It's not a good point. I don't think it's a good point. I think a lot of people address you and tell you why they don't think it's a good point either. Your first 2 points, I'm going to address them. They actually are fair points, but third point, this is a bad point. Saying I can't say this, because this is actually just what happened. The reality is, if I had the double Rs, everyone would get their cards, but I didn't because distributors typically run out of cards fairly quickly for Weiss because they don't have faith in the game. They order it once and never again. So you can't just keep restocking like Pokemon, Magic, and stuff. That's just a fact. It's a fact. You can't argue with facts. It's hard. You saying that it's a cop-out move is like, well, I guess I can see what you mean by cop-out move, but I'm just presenting facts to you. It wasn't. I didn't say that because of this. That's why this guy got refunded. I said I tried to find the product. I couldn't. I had to refund him. So I don't know. I didn't like the third point. Didn't make a lot of sense. First point, making that judgment call that someone pre-ordering low to make money is very bold and wrong. Someone could have ordered low to help friends and orders and such. I agree. And I don't think my response was very clear what I meant when I talked about the price thing. I wanted to, because in my thought process at the time, that was definitely something we talked about. We're like, this guy ordered low. should we really refund him? He was trying to take advantage of the situation. Like, even if he was trying to take advantage of getting the low cards to make money, that's actually a fair and okay reason. But the reason I addressed that is because at the time, it was something we talked about. And I was trying to be 100% transparent about what we were talking about at the time. It was like, yeah, we were just talking about like, okay, so this guy ordered fairly low. He ordered early on. Refunding him, it's like, it's not going to like we also don't know at the store if when we refund, do they get Canadian or USD? But we just don't know these things. We're just like, he ordered fairly early on. He's the only guy, by the way, that ordered 8 of stuff. Everyone else, if we had to refund, we would have to refund more than one person anyways to satisfy 3 people. It's like refund 2, satisfy 3. At that point, it's nuanced. We don't even know. But with our framework and our mentality, we're like, this one person makes 3 people happy. Man, this is the only guy that satisfies these conditions. Only one. Only order that can satisfy that was him. Feels bad. And the whole point about that decision to, for the greater good is how I said it, poorly phrased, 100%. I don't know how many people in this chat are like art students in university or arts graduates and took philosophy. Or just know about philosophy in general. There's like viewpoints on morality and viewpoints on like decision making and all that thing. And one like prevalent one is utilitarianism. I'm not gonna say I'm a utilitarian like by heart, but I definitely have some utilitarian values. Utilitarian values. As in, if I can create 3 people who can be happy versus one person to be happy, and then the vice versa of them being sad, I'd rather make 3 people happy. The price is not important to me. If you think about the difference in price that I'm making, it's like, it's not even 72 anymore. It's like, because these guys are still ordering at pre-order price. It's literally like a $20 thing. It's a $20 difference to me. I'm not making that much more money from doing this. But the reality of the situation is I can make 3 customers' orders and those guys won't get mad. Or I can make one person's order and one person won't get mad. And first come, first serve. People making the comment that first come, first serve is correct business practice. That's not true. I mean, it's true. Okay, it's true that a lot of businesses will handle things on a first come, first serve basis. In queuing systems, you typically handle first come, first serve in queuing systems because that's the norm that we've had all this time. But in queuing research, it's actually shown that last come, first serve is a more efficient process and a more efficient way to queue like lines than first come, first serve. But we don't do it because there's a perceived inequity in last come, first serve that isn't there in first come, first serve. A lot of businesses will do first come, first serve. But when it comes down to it, when you guys say this is bad business practice, that's not necessarily an argument that's valid because no, not last in, first out. Like last in, first out and last come, first serve is same idea. Because if you look at the queue, he's still outing for it. Not my point. But the point being, you guys making the claim, a lot of people made this claim that first come, first serve is the correct business practice. And judging by a matter of utility is not. That's not actually accurate, right? Because business practice is not, it's not policed by like a police people that are saying, yo, first come, first serve is the correct practice. It's one that has perceived equity and perceived value. Like there's a perception that it's more moral to do first come, first serve. But when my morality lies in I can make 3 people happy versus one person happy, I'm gonna stick to that. And I think if we were presented with this situation again, we probably still would go with the 3 happy, 1 not happy dilemma, and we'd probably stick to making the 3 people happy. So if you really dislike that as a person who orders, I'll tell you this: these situations should rarely happen. But if they were to happen again, I'd probably approach it the same way with better communication. So if you really hate that, maybe shopping at Strictly is not the play for you. Like just the fact, like if you really hate the decision to make more people happy, instead of first come, first serve being the prevalent practice, you probably should shop at a shop that has cards for double the price. I don't know. Yeah, I agree 100%. So yeah, that's my response to everyone talking about how first come, first serve is the correct business practice. Business practices aren't policed. There's no like society for proper business practice. There might be some book that's written by someone about what he thinks is proper business practice, but business practice is very much so, it changes over time, right? So like, yeah, so disclaimers is a thing. Disclaimers is a poor argument to people though, because people, it's like standard in 2019 not to read disclaimers. So even in like legal situations, when people say, "Dude, check the disclaimers," it's always like super feels bad for people. When you use the read the disclaimer argument, people just feel really shitty. So I don't want to use it. I didn't really use it that much. I think at all. I just mentioned it briefly in my excerpt, but saying check the disclaimers just kind of fucked. But yeah, so yeah, that's addressing that. First come, first serve is not proper business practice. It's one that is perceived to be the most moral, most equitable. But if you have like a different view, like a utilitarian view, if you you might make a different decision. And some companies in North America and other places, they do make these decisions. You just don't know it because it's behind the scenes and they're way larger, and problems don't blow up in a Facebook group because they're kind of way larger. So that's that. Second point, instead of refunding the guy, you could have emailed him ahead of time or bought the double R's from somewhere else. If someone posted them online after cracking their cases, could have communicated with the 8 double R customer. Man, it's hard to read these things because like, the grammar is so bad. But like my grammar is pretty bad too, man. English is not my first language, but holy, it's hard to read these things. If you don't mind waiting as we try to get the double R somewhere else, in which case you just take the hit. Yes, I should have communicated better. Emailed him. You're right. Get double R's from somewhere else. In my post, I mentioned that distributors was not possible. Other sellers, it was getting increasingly clear that was not feasibly possible, because for someone to ship to me and then I ship out to the guy, it will take like multiple weeks. Now, in terms of like, this is where I'm going like kind of ad lib here. I'm not 100% sure what I'm saying, but in terms of like property rights and property transactions, if his money is returned to him, he can do whatever he wants. He can do whatever he wants with his money, right? And like, if we communicated better, maybe we could work out some medium where I can reimburse something, blah 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 blah, whatever. Like, we have to talk about that in email, and I would not make that public. That's a conversation between me and him. But like it's just, I think refunding the whole order was just an easier solution in my mind at the time. Getting it from anywhere else would have taken such a long time for it to happen, and they might have run out too. I didn't actually look that much at other single stock, which I should have. I just looked at the stores locally in BC that had Weiss singles, and they just didn't have a lot of stock. Like, I wouldn't have been able to effectively help this guy anyways. Like, if I find one of a double R, like whatever, he ordered 8. If I could find all 8, yeah, I would have done that. I would have 100% solved the problem that way. So, but yeah, you're right. I tried. I just didn't think it was feasibly possible. So I just refunded the guy everything. As somebody that understands Weiss distro, especially English ratios, I feel you, fam. Yeah, the English ratios were fucked. This is what started all of it. If I had the cards, I would have given it to him 100%. It's literally because of the ratios that didn't work out. So yeah, but whatever. Something I don't feel like is addressed here that needed to be was your initial response that you have now deleted to the other poster that was very cocky and douchey. I'm curious to see if the other poster is able to provide screenshots with timestamps of his canceled order being in stock and the cancellation. But maybe I'm in the wrong here for getting upset over someone else's business. He'd have to PM me. He didn't even talk to me. So whoever Peter Park is, he never PM me at all. Just never PM me. How are we supposed to even talk to the guy, figure something out with him if he just doesn't PM me? Give me one sec, guys. All right, some customer messages we have to reply to. All right, so at this point, I'll have to look around. If I can find the double R's, I mean, I think, okay, so in this specific scenario, I think we're at like a stalemate in resolution. I don't see how we can resolve this any better for this guy now. Like, he got all his money back and everything. There was like, because of how we handle it, like, yeah, we should have handled it better. If he communicates with me, maybe we could talk about it. But he got all his money. Like all his money is in his hands. I don't have his money because that's unprofessional, K Dash. He's the customer with the complaint, right? It's unprofessional for me to go, yo, man, what's up? Well, I'm not gonna say it like that, obviously. I sent the first email. He has to respond instead of fucking posting it and oh my god, whatever. Okay, so anyways, responding to this, does he have screenshots? The guy's not going to provide screenshots of the prices because in his original post, I'm not trying to roast the guy. He was emotional at the time. The cards in question like I said earlier, the cards that shot up in price were all sold out, had none. But the cards that didn't actually go up, but I still refunded, they didn't actually go up in price. I still had stock of. But he said everything I still had stock of. That's what when he posted the original post saying, he originally said like all the cards I refunded, there was stock at higher prices. That's just misleading and not true. And so he's not going to be able to provide the pictures on some of the cards because they were actually sold out. They were just actually sold out. There was some miscommunication there. So yeah. And then my initial cocky comments. It was read as so once again, it was read as cocky. It was not cocky. My English is not great. And I phrased it kind of weird. And yeah, it was not cocky. It was me saying, dude, do you want to be like community entertainment or do you want to have a conversation and solve your problem? That was what I was trying to say. But it ended up being phrased like, I will bully you or something. I don't know. And if he's scared of me now, like if I go to an event and he sees me and he's scared, like I'm so sorry. My English is bad. I'm so sorry. But yeah, it was not cocky. So trolley problem. Made a bad call and communicated poorly. Oops. I don't think it was a bad call. So that was a big thing. Yes, communicate poorly, 100%. I stand by my call. I feel very utilitarian in this matter. And I think that, like I said, if you guys really hate how I viewed this situation and really think first come serve, first serve is the way to go, maybe. Well, that's where we differ morally. I think there's moral arguments for both sides. RIP SBTCG 2019. I addressed that. I don't think we're going to rip. I mean, this is Weiss community. We don't even... Vanguard is our shit now, so I think we're fine. It's really on you to get those singles. It's true that you wouldn't be able to keep up with a promised date. That much happens and you can be put aside. You haven't really explained why you didn't talk to the person. Didn't ask if they'd prefer to just get all the cards except WRs. You also didn't offer the option of taking the time to link getting all their cards while you record. Yes, we should have communicated better. I just thought that my first email, he would reply and then we would talk. And also my first email was also not perfectly clear. I should have said at the end, please reply. We could talk about it. I didn't. I forgot. I thought I even did, but I did not. So you saying all these things like you should have blah, blah, blah. Yes, I agree with you. We should have done all these things. But we did talk to the person first. It was just poorly talked to. And we did talk to him first, but it was so unclear that he felt like he had to go elsewhere to receive more information. So yeah, my bad. Communication poor. To be honest, I don't think there's any malice. It's just I think Yui isn't really an amazing businessman. All right. Holy roasty. I think I'm actually fine. I think I'm a fine businessman, man. You guys know how hard it is to run a business? Start a small business at the age of 20. When did I start this? When I was 20? Going to school full time and running a business? Maybe I'm not the best communicator, but come on, man. Give me some credit, man. Strictly grew a shit ton. Strictly grew a lot in the past 2 years. Like, I'm trying to stroke my cock right now because I think I worked really hard. I think I did a good job over the past 2 years. And sometimes communication is bad, but I don't think Strictly is a terrible place in business. So Yeah, running a business is hard, man. But yeah, there is a disclaimer on our site too that pre-orders might not be able to be fulfilled and you might be refunded. There's actually like a legit disclaimer, and even on every card there's a disclaimer too. People don't read them. It's fine, whatever. It's not important. The disclaimer argument's bad, like I said, but guys, there is a disclaimer. You order these cards, you might get refunded. The cards are great pre-order prices, by the way. Like, worst case, you just gotta go somewhere else and pay the actual price for it. We're trying to eventually get it to the point where the actual price is also good for you guys. But as long as people have preconceived notions that some places are the price standard, and they're terrible price standards, by the way, you guys are never gonna have cheap cards everywhere. But my goal, my ultimate big brain plan is so that Weiss cards are cheaper in general. The idea of a disclaimer is bullshit. The customer pays the holiday as a ransom to ensure that he does not backtrack out of the agreement. So the seller bears an equal harm to fill by. So whoever's Ikari Ray, I don't know where you learned this, but you have a really weird view of transactions, contracts. Yeah, I'm just not going to address that. It's really weird. And maybe you are right, but I'm not. Like, sorry, man. If you're here, like, you got to be clear because what you said makes no sense. It got 6 likes, so clearly 6 people understood what you wrote, but the idea of a disclaimer is protective in legal. Like, I'm not a lawyer, I can't give legal advice, but it's the purpose of a disclaimer and like any user agreement is to protect us in cases like these. If the guy decided to sue, he would have no grounds, because also suing over this is stupid and silly. But we need to protect us legally. It's important. Disclaimers are actual important things. So I don't know where you get the notion that disclaimers are bullshit, but I don't know, man. Law wouldn't get them out in time, as if the guy would rather never get the guys he pre-order than have a slight delay. Sorry excuses for business practices. I think the time thing's a big deal. If I communicate with the guy, I would be like, yo, man, you're not gonna get the cards until like a month later. They have to ship to me, they have to ship back to you. Maybe not a month, but like at least 2-3 weeks. Like at that point, like you can find the cards locally probably and shit. Like if you just get the money, like if you got the fucking money, you can buy the cards somewhere else. Players tend to sell cards. We're focused on Vanguard now, bro. Vanguard's our biggest game. We just do Weiss because it's my favorite game, and I still do it out of love for the game and the community. And then here's a comment. We get you're a good guy and you've done amazing things for the game. I don't want to stroke myself, so I'm just not going to read the good parts. I sympathize with the customer. I would have just as confused or hurt as they were. We all make mistakes. I do think you're a bad, and I do not think you're a bad person, Yui. I'm sure a lot of us agree you're fucking awesome. I just hope as a company for your sake. So yeah, 2 things to address here. I want the Yui to slowly fade out of the Strictly Broken so that people can view Strictly Broken as Strictly Broken and not just Yui's company. And I know I'm kind of like a YouTuber for Weiss. I kind of won a lot of worlds, kind of cool. Went to worlds. And like, but yeah, it's just take the Yui out of Strictly slowly and just see Strictly as a good company. Like right now, obviously, people see problems with Strictly. We're working on it. Communication was poor here. 100%. Once again, they were hurt by the miscommunication. I can see that. Agreed. My fault. I'm sorry, customer. My miscommunication likely hurt you. Felt like you were being scammed. Felt like you were being treated unequally. Blah, blah, blah. My bad. That's 100% my bad. Like, one thing I'm surprised to not see mentioned at all is the concept of first come, first serve. It sounds to me, the concept, see, you can't even fucking say that shit without sounding like a fucking 6-year-old. The concept of first come, first serve. It sounds to me like the 100 who bought your cars did so earlier than the 3 customers who are. A lot of people would rightfully assume the first come. A lot of people would rightfully assume, dude, this is how propaganda starts. Rightfully assume, right? If you take the word rightfully out, it would be better, like academic writing. Would rightfully assume. That's pretty interesting. And receive whoever ordered last would be the one to have the orders refunded, canceled. I get that you try to be utilitarian in your approach. Oh, this guy understands the utilitarian side, so I appreciate that. But there's also a case for priority. So with your comment, you You acknowledge that I was taking the utilitarian approach to this solution. You acknowledge it. And there's also a case for prioritizing based on the time of the order's placement. So when you make that second part of your comment and you acknowledge that there's a different viewpoint and you say there's pros and cons to both, basically imply that. But then in the first paragraph, you say rightfully, it seems like there's a bit of a bias here. Now, maybe the first half is your opinion, second half is like general opinion. That's fine. But yes, rightful. Like if I say my utilitarian perspective is right, that's wrong, guys. Then I've made a mistake. But if I say I follow that because I feel like it leads to a greater amount of good, a greater amount of happiness, and that's just my view of it, and what strictly follows rule-wise because I subscribe to that view, then yeah. But yeah, I appreciate that you acknowledge that I'm taking the utilitarian approach instead of the first come first serve approach, which I think they're both equally meritable. They both have flaws and both have their own benefits. Exactly. Why would you want anyone to pre-order from him early? Yeah, so pre-ordering early doesn't come with the risks that you guys think it does. If a guy who pre-ordered late ordered 8, then we would have refunded him. That's like the big thing you want to take away from this. It's just the scenario as the guy refunded early who ordered 8. And to be honest, more often than not, you'll probably see more 8-number orders and 12-number orders early because the price is lower. People want to get more of them. When they go up later, why would people want 8 anymore? So yeah, the fact is you're going to see more 8s early on, less 8s later. But if the 8 was later, I would have done the same thing. I'm going to assure you guys I would have done the same thing. And no one would complain. In fact, people would be like, holy fucking shit, Strictly's such a fucking good company, refunding the more expensive ones to give it to the people who pre-ordered cheaper. But unfortunately, it's the other way around, and I look like a fucking jackass. So it feels bad. So yeah, the pre-orders aren't canceled because of price. They're canceled because of lack of stock, and only when we can use your order to make everyone else happier. This is a tough one, brother. I probably would have made the same call, but you've got to hold up your hands and apologize on this one. People should know pre-orders tend to come with some risk. Yes, people should know that pre-orders come with some risk. That is something you got to understand. Pre-orders come with some risk. It feels a bit off, though. I get there's not much you can do from where you've gone yourself. Making excuses and appealing to players feels a bit off. No, I don't think it's off. I think it's the right thing to do. Being here, doing this is what I like to do. I like it. A lot of people think I shouldn't have this kind of PR. I like it. I think it's good. I think it builds connections, builds brand relationships, knows that we aren't just assholes there, that we have people willing to spend over an hour just talking to people. One sec. Sorry, I had to read something. You should definitely with the store customer communication, which is definitely a lesson that you can take and act on from here. Yes, I agree. It's a shame these threads got as messy and personal as they have, which you predicted. I'll be targeted the wrong way. A lot of this could have been handled better, but I hope you take it into the future. Yeah, so they got pretty personal. And throughout the whole thing, I didn't make any personal attacks. If you guys remember, some of you guys are old members of the Weiss community back when Yui was a fucking prolific spokesperson in threads. I used to shit on everyone. I don't do that shit anymore. But I used to just be like, you fucking stupid dude. Are you fucking 30 IQ, fucking Down syndrome classroom or some shit? Like, I don't know, some shitty insults like that. And like, I don't do that anymore. I didn't insult anyone a single time, but people kept bashing me, which is, okay. It's funny. It's fun. It's fun. But it made me really sad. I gotta be honest with you. I was very sad, but I did not bash anyone back. Only one I wanted to bash back was one of the stores that was advertising their store because it was pretty funny because the last thing I want to do is shop at that store. But no hate. Not first come, first serve, and then make judgment calls based on assumptions of the buyer selling from the blah, blah, blah. It's 8 of double, not 50. Who's going to pre-order from a store that isn't on a first come, first serve? Once again, the fact that people think first come, first serve is like a law of business is funny to me. It's not. It's just a perceived it's like a perceived. It's something that's perceived to be equitable, but not necessarily the best solution. I think all of the time. My opinion. I got no sympathy here. This is the same guy trashing my set. All right. Random hate comment with poor grammar. I'm getting kind of tired of addressing the hate comments. Always the same thing. Yeah, so it's the same idea, same response. You're allowed to hate. Cool. Why not buy more double horizon to make up for the missing stock? Couldn't find them. I just couldn't find them, man. I couldn't find them. I would have taken the loss. I've done it before. It's happened before with the previous Bang Dreams. I took some loss on some pre-orders. Like, guys, I cannot stress this enough. $40 isn't gonna fucking end my fucking life. I would have found the cards if I could have. I just couldn't. Could have gotten emails, delay on the process until it's underpinning this piece, and you get the rest of the piece that you can get your hands on and discount. Good things never really has much payoff, but when you do something negative, that should spread and people won't buy from. Yeah. So when you do a good thing, no one bats an eye. Look at the fucking 80 people that got their cards way cheaper than this fucking random Californian shop that has their cards at like 30% more of the price that they should be. Because like whatever, no one's saying anything. But you know, doing good things makes me happy, so I'll do them. But like this bad thing happens, blows up out of proportion. Okay, California is not a race, bro. Is it? I don't know. Is racist is like race, right? California is not a race. I don't think California is a race. I don't know what is defined as a race. Yeah. So communication was really poor. Once again, I will openly admit my communication was poor. I am not the best communicator. Oh yeah, if you want to sponsor me, that would be sick. We're actually thinking about taking. All right, I'm sorry, man. California is a great place. I actually love that place. But I don't like In-N-Out. In-N-Out made me puke once. I don't know. That shit doesn't work for me. SBT CCG F up and customer pays the price. That blows. That blows. It kind of blows that it blew out of proportion like this. Yeah, for sure. And then this guy says something funny. That'll teach you to stop experimenting on new processes. Yeah, so all this is an experimentation, and the prices are fantastic. People have to acknowledge that. Like, you got to acknowledge that. We've been driving prices down for Weiss, and people get their cards at way better prices since we started doing this 20 cases a set thing, 10 cases a set, 15 cases a set. Other stores just do not have the same amount of market share that we do to be able to do these things. And we can really do these things. Hi, Nick Gurr. Oh, shit. This guy's a troll. Oh, you got me good, man. You're hilarious. Holy, he got me good. Okay, well, people are gonna read your thing. Okay. I'm just not gonna ignore you now. That was such a low blow. Okay, my bad. I shouldn't have done that. That was pretty funny though. Here's a suggestion. Why not limit pre-order slot to 50 set? Yeah, so I'm gonna ignore these suggestions because Bushiroad made a big boo-boo, and I should have planned for that better too. But yeah, you're right about that. As a store owner, I'm disappointed in the decision to not only make an arbitrary decision with no transparency, but also the poor execution of the explanation to the customer. It essentially amounted to, we know you ordered first, but we make more money if we disregard earlier. So you're addressing a point that is not factual again. So I'm gonna read the rest, but faith of your customers will always cost more. Aside from the cost associated with the customer having given you his money well in advance, giving the customer credit for the inconvenience and provide compensation the amount of what it will certainly be just my 2 cents. So thanks for giving your 2 cents. So thanks for giving your 2 cents, bro. But if you're gonna give your 2 cents on an assumption that is not right and factual, then your 2 cents is not worth 2 cents anymore. Basically, what you said was based on the thing that just your facts are. Get your facts right first before you bring up your 2 cents. I know people like to comment on this bashing and just bash, but you gotta get your facts right before you bash, man. I mean, you're a business, right? Or are you running a church? Make 3 people sad or make 1 person sad. What the fuck? First come, first serve, no questions asked. Can you imagine trying to buy your kid something and you were first in line, but the person behind you has more kids that they get priority for the fancy new toy? Am I running a church? So once again, I've addressed this. First comes, first serve is not the stat. It's something that people will use a lot because it's perceived to be fair, but it's not always the best solution. And in my case, I could have approached it from both ways and they would both be fair solutions. But I chose to approach it the other way. And your example, it just depends on how your example is kind of like, so the people who like your example, they're kind of like, if I see when you gave your example, can you imagine trying to buy your kids something and you were first in line, but the person behind you has more kids, so they get priority for the fancy new toy? Because I have that value and that perspective, I actually would let that guy go first. I frequently do that. So your example actually just justifies how we have different conceptions of morality. So, yeah. Gosh, good analogy. Terrible analogy. Actually, fucking terrible analogy, dude. His analogy doesn't back up his point. Sorry, I'm not trying to BM. This is the analogy's not good at all. But the comment is like blowing up, so it's pretty funny. But not to BM. I just think your analogy is not actually good because if we have different moral perspectives, then I would actually let the guy go first. So don't let hateful comments get you to where you need to post a passionate explanation like this. You did what you thought was right. However, you need to accept the criticism, find flaws in your business practice, and learn from your mistakes. Good luck. Thank you. Sounds to me like you've seen enough of the error now. You just learn and adapt for future sales. All in all, this isn't sufficient. Yeah. No, it's like Strictly's gonna live, guys. Strictly's not dead. I'm not fucking dying. This is a fine example of why the second-hand card market needs government regulation. A 5-cent piece of card should only cost 5 cents. Interesting point. I love the transparency. Few businesses trust their customer base this much. See, I appreciate that you think we're transparent. I like that. Thank you. That's what I try to do. I think in the future, regardless of the perceived motivation of unusual pre-order, I think it should be on first come first serve basis. But I don't agree with you on that. Also, it would work well if you put a cap on single pre-orders. In other words, make it clear to people how many. We did put a cap. My cap was just a bit higher than I expected. Like, guys, okay, I'll tell you how many of each double R I'm basically short. I'm short basically. I was basically short in predictions by like between 16 to 20 of each double R, guys. Come on. Think about that. But yeah, I don't agree with the first come first serve thing necessarily. Once again, that's where we disagree. Transparency is very good. Personally, I think there should have been some correspondence. I agree. I like to point out a couple of things I'm seeing people make. Case distribution was fucked by Bushiroad. You and SBTC have no say in this. Yes. BD is usually popular enough so that people have trouble getting more supply. Yes. Having orders canceled to being out of stock is nothing new. Even Japanese places do this. Like Yute, blah, 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 blah. Yes, it is nothing new, guys. That's the key. I know you know that Strictly has a presence on these Facebook groups and that when you post, everyone was going to react because they know who I am, who Strictly is. Guys, it's normal. Refunds on pre-orders and orders is normal. It's not out of the ordinary. What is this post? Why are you assuming that your customer buying 2 places from your site are going to flip those cards? Are you okay? Let's read more. I can't read this when your grammar is that bad. But it's the, like, sorry, man. I can't. I just don't know what you're saying. He only wants to make money and not care for his customers. It's a waste of time to respond to this comment. I'll be frank, at this point, the least you could do to salvage your reputation is to just offer said buyer the option to repurchase all those cards again. I don't think my reputation is in the dumps. Well, definitely my communication. People now all know that I'm a shitty communicator. Guys, you know how hard it is to be in relationships when you're a bad communicator? I don't want to get too deep into my life here, but let's just say me being bad at communication has affected me in a lot of ways throughout my life. So let's be real, guys. I know I'm a bad communicator. But Ikari, I don't think my reputation is fucked. And yeah, refunding a customer and talking to them after the fact isn't the way to go. Never mind for a pre-order. Okay, doesn't make sense. Yeah, if you guys are just gonna like stroke yourselves with points that just, yeah, so I just can't address comments that don't really make too much sense to me. So a few posts talk about first come, first serve, and one post mentioned that you're running a business and not a church. The reality here is that you handed the customer who paid less instead of promising to fulfill this order. The reality here is that you refunded the customer who paid less. Do you know what reality means, man? Like, okay, you got to get the facts right. You got to get the facts right before you make claims about reality. Come on, facts, bro. Facts. Just use the facts. When you get the facts wrong, you make a comment, everyone's gonna think you got the facts right. Get the fucking facts right or don't fucking comment. Holy. It's pretty funny. Honestly, you should eat a loss. Maybe consider gifting the buyer high value gift cards or something for your website. It's the least you can do. This is the risk you take for selling, blah, 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 blah. I think you still have a chance to not ruin your reputation permanently. Please let loose of any assumptions. Like others said, the buyer could have honestly bought a place. I didn't have these assumptions. Okay, you still should. So I think the prevalent thing here is when people talk about blah, 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 they got to first get the facts right first. Because when you make comments when the facts are wrong, that's what misunderstandings happen. All in all, I've reached the end of that as well. A lot of things where people have misunderstandings on the facts. The situation has gone to this point. All right, guys. Question time. Taking questions now. If you have a question, write it in here. If you have a comment saying I'm still fucking retarded, first come, first serve is the way to go. What's race condition? Can you explain what a race condition is? Race condition. Oh, okay. I see. Wait, this is not a race condition. If you read the definition of a race condition, it's when you attempt to perform 2 or more operations at the same time. It has to be 2 or more operations at the same time. This is only one operation, right? I don't think it's a race condition. But, okay, any questions, any comments? Or I'm going to wrap it up. I still have shit to do. Sponsoring players, guys. Go do well at your events, and then we talk. I look at results. No. Dude, why are you here, dude? Oh my god. What the fuck? Can you hire me for PR person? No. Okay, I'll tell you this much. Most people that commented in this whole experience probably shouldn't be PR people. Because I don't think I've seen one that was actually. I saw a few productive ones, but there was a lot of really fucking terrible posting. You mentioned earlier it is unprofessional to reach out to the customer. I don't see how it is unprofessional to do so if you're trying to resolve an issue. No, like me reaching out, right? Because I sent him an email. If I then like find him on Facebook, PM him, like that's like bridging the gap between like corporation and person. And I think it's unprofessional in the sense that I can go reach out to a person. He should come talk to us. That's what I mean by unprofessional. Yeah, I think the situation's overall resolved. Okay. Saying that he has a lot of fault, I don't think he has a lot of fault. He's just a customer. I don't think he actually did anything wrong. The only thing I can maybe say that he did wrong was posting publicly, but I think some people disagree and think that this thing should be posted publicly. If you look at what happened because it was public, it was just not very productive at all. That was what I was trying to get to originally with let's PM instead of public conversation. So yeah, I hope the guy realizes that he was basically objectified as a source of entertainment, and I was as well. I hope he at least realizes that, or maybe he wanted to be. Like I can see like hypothetical. I'm not saying he is like this. I can see like if you are really busy, stressed out with work every day, you come home, you have nothing much to do, and you want to be put on a pedestal and have your phone notified every 10 seconds. I can't afford that. I'm busy. That's my problem. Maybe he wanted that, but like, don't like, you know what I mean? Like, maybe it's not like that, and he just really wanted to make it public so that he can have more people backing him up. But I'm just saying, like, maybe he really wanted the entertainment for that evening as well. Going through Facebook is weird unless you use the company account, and even then, that should be. Yeah, exactly. I don't want to PM the guy on Facebook or anything. He really should be emailing us. Schwapity. If I were to place orders for future sets, can I do it with confidence that my order will be fulfilled? 99.9% chance confidence. That's not an exact number that I calculated. I'm just saying this literally rarely happens. It only happens when something crazy and random happen, like Bushiroad doing this shit. Like, this is not a norm, guys. I don't make it a day-to-day decision to just always utilitarian perspective and fucking refund one guy to make 3 people happy. That's not an everyday thing. 100 orders a day and everyone is happy 99.9% of the time. Dude, the European League, I can't look at that. That's not an official. I think it is an official event. I'll look, man. Give me time. Our roster for this year is already confirmed. If you were to get sponsored, it'd be like next year rosters and stuff. How often do you guys restock on older, current stuff? Wait, these are questions that are not related to the topic. Well, I did email him, and I did. My email was poorly communicated, but as soon as we refunded him, I actually did email him, but it could have been clearer. Oh, it's election day. I should go vote. Oh, election day. If you're a Canadian, go fucking vote. Go vote. Go vote. Guys, if you're Canadian, go vote. Go vote. Nice. That is private, my sir. Anyways, any last questions? I'm gonna be signing off soon. If you have a question related to the topic, if whatnot, I can clear up. I'm here. Like, you guys have me. I'm all to you guys right now. You know, I talk about not being put like objectified. Right now, I am the object of your entertainment. You guys can ask a question regarding the topic. Go ahead. I'll stay here for like another couple minutes. Appreciate it, man. Appreciate it, man. Yeah. So, yeah. If you look at other price setting guides online, they're way too expensive. Like, guys, I'll tell you this right now. I think the way pre-order should work is that you try to make as little money as possible because you're literally converting, you're creating a steady cash flow with products that you already got the money for that you can immediately flip, right? So you should be making almost no money. If you look at JK's price, fuck. If you look at other stores' prices, they're actually so fucking expensive. They make like $500 per case by selling the singles at that price. That's fucked. Good luck with this. I hope that it will sort it out. When will Goblin Slayer? Goblin Slayer will be up at some point, yes. After this whole dilemma, I don't know how popular the pre-order stuff will be, but I hope it's popular because our prices are great. I'll have to probably see first how if Bunny Girl has the correct ratios, and then I could figure out because like I'll be honest with you guys, the way I pre-order the things assumes that we get the right amount of cards. So I actually tanked a loss on the pre-ordered cards. I tanked a bit of a loss. Now, Bank Dream is a great set in the sense that they have a lot of high rarity foils and stuff that we can recoup all of our basically we'll be fine. But like I'm losing a lot in this situation too. But so I have to see with Bunny Girl. I'll keep the pre-order prices up, but I have to see with Bunny Girl if they do the same thing. And if they do, then I have to change how I view and price pre-orders. So yeah, I'm willing to take that loss. I'm doing it for the community. I'm willing to take that loss because I have the resources and the platform to do it. I'm able to do it. So we'll have to see with Goblin Slayer, depending on Bunny Girl results. Too many foils, not enough money. Why, dude? I think the reason they give less double R's because there's more SPs. But that's just such a shitty reason. If that's actually the reason, like, come on, man. Come on, Bushiroad. I love you guys, but come on. All right, guys. Last couple things. I'm off in 3 minutes. 3 minutes, guys. I'm chill here for a bit. How's oh yeah, I'm gonna chill here for a bit. Be here for 3 more minutes. You coming to Toronto Regionals? Yes, I am. I am coming. Oddly enough, do you guys have stocks tied to your name? No, I'm not a public company. I'm not publicly traded. I'm just a small business. So, well, I don't even know if we're small anymore. We're actually quite large, but no stocks. Can you bring back the Strictly vlogs? Okay, if I bring back the Strictly vlogs, like with this shit that transpired, like now that we're kind of like getting so much fucking drama like this, Strictly vlogs gonna be like, yo guys, so I'm really sad right now. Feels bad. Boo-hoo. I don't know. I want to bring it back though. I like making the vlogs, but it was a lot of work, and I'm really busy these days. By the way, I'm gonna leave this video public for people. They can timestamp it. They can reference points in the video. I'll leave it up for like maybe like a few days, like 3-4 days, and then yeah, maybe a week. It's just this video is not really Vanguard related, so people are gonna watch it and think, "What the fuck is going on?" Thanks, man. I think it's fine. Like I said, Strictly does a lot of amazing things. What I try to do for the community, I think, is incredible. And I think if it's kind of like this. So you hear this whole drama happen, and then you're like, you look at the prices, and then you look at like another store's price, and you're like, holy shit, dude. If my order might get refunded, small chance, like 0.1% chance, but I'm literally saving 30% without any discount codes. Goddamn, sign me up. I would suggest not taking. I have to. It's not Vanguard related. Vanguard people are gonna be like, what the fuck? People are gonna be like, the fuck's wrong with you? I mean, I had the post, right? It's the same shit. All right. All right. It's 12:05. See you guys. Thanks for spending this time with me, and peace.